All office executives, in this particular video I will be demonstrating a Python problem set scenario in which we will be finding out whether the user given string is palindrome or not. So I will be making a new file and I will be naming it as palindrome, and the extension will be .py. So we need a variable which will just hold the given user given input. So user submission equal to input. Now on this particular context I would also like to stress on the subject matter that Python takes everything as a string as an input. So whenever we are giving something into the input, we are taking from the console, that is being treated as a string. So please enter a string. Let me make some room for the give some spaces to make some room. Fine. So now what we'll be doing is that I need to so the situation might happen that the user is giving the input in uppercase letter or lowercase letter. So to make the thing in general, we'll be just converting whatever the user is giving into the input, we'll be converting it into the lowercase letter. So again we'll be writing user submission equal to user submission whatever the input the user gave in, and we will be converting it to lower, control space, lower. So lower is a function that definitely means that there will be a braces open and braces closed. Fine. So now we'll be having something like temp. This is the temporary string which will be holding the user input in reverse order. So user submission, the starting and the ending is nothing, -1. So -1 means that the user submission will be taking whatever the input the user is giving. From the end of the input, we are just extracting the text and storing it to temp. Now the simple checking, if temp equal to, that's the equality operator, equal to user submission, then what we'll be doing is that we'll be saying that print the strings are palindrome, while if it is not the scenario, then we'll be having an else clause, else section, print the strings are not palindrome, the strings are not palindrome. Fine. Let me save the file, Control S. Now let me open up the console, Control backtick, that is the tilt button which is present below the escape switch. I am pressing Control tilt that particular option. So Python, it will be interpreter. The Python interpreter will be interpreting which program? Python. It will be interpreting the palindrome.py. Hit enter. Please enter a string madam, madam. The strings are palindrome. Now let me give another string, maybe Ramesh. The strings are not palindrome. So that's this is the all of the code which I have shared. I'm going to showcase for this particular problem set scenario, that user submission from it is taking as the input. So the user submission, so this is the user submission. Let me make the color red. So user submission, this line of code, what it is doing is that it is taking the input from the console and it is taking a string as an input and then converting it to a lowercase letter. So if the user gives ram in small hand letter, it would be ram in small hand letter. So if the user gives ram in small hand in caps or in whichever sentence case he fits into, it would be converted to a small hand letter. and this ROM would be temp equal to user submission colon colon minus 1. So colon colon minus 1 means from the reverse section, minus 1 means from MAR, and it is being stored within temp. So if temp is equal to user submission, then the strings are palindrome, and while if the strings are not palindrome, when the two of the temp and the user submission doesn't match. That's all for this short video tutorial. Thank you guys and happy coding.